Hi all, welcome back to my lecture series on strategic management. And in this video, so far we covered what exactly the strategic management is and what are the roles or functions of strategic management, process of strategic management, what is strategic leadership, and also what is strategic planning. And this is the last video with respect to chapter one of strategic management. In this video, our focus is on two topics. One is corporate social responsibility, and the second one is corporate governance. Uh, these are the two terms or two concepts which are gaining more and more importance in strategic management of a company. So every strategic decisions of a company involves these two topics. One is corporate social responsibility, and the second one is corporate governance. So let's start our discussion with corporate social responsibility, and then we will see corporate governance. What is corporate social responsibility? Let's see the definition, and then I will provide additional explanation, whatever is required for it. Okay, corporate social responsibility, according to the World Business Council for Sustainable Development, CSR is the continuing commitment by business to behave ethically and contribute to the economic development while improving the quality of life of the workforce, their families, as well as of the local community and the society at large. So this is a definition. Okay, let's see what exactly this definition says. Okay, earlier days, like whenever businessman used to do business, the main motive is to earn profit or increase shareholders' wealth. Right? This was the basic profit maximization was a motive for every company. But that is slowly shifted. It is not only owner, all the stakeholders should get benefited. Okay, not only owner, it's employees, employee families, and not only a people, but also the locality where the companies are set, where the factories are set, where you are doing the business. Those locality improvement is also a responsibility of that business. So it is a sustainable necessity for any business to run it for a long time with a proper relationship with all the stakeholders. CSR has become more and more important in today's context. Okay, so it is ethical, it is a commitment that company is going to continue and behave ethically and also contribute for the development of for the development of for the development of its workforce. Not only owners' wealth development, it is employees also should be taken care. Not only employees, families also should be taken care, and the surrounding local community of the company around the company should also be taken care. Then not only local community, overall the society at large. So this is very, very important. It is a commitment from a board that company is going to behave ethically and also take care of all the stakeholders who are surrounding to it. So that's why corporate social responsibility is also called as corporate conscience, corporate citizenship, sustainable responsible business, responsible business. So doing business without any social responsibility is not accepted nowadays. So it is must. So that's why it is being called as responsible business. Is it mandatory or people or companies are doing it voluntarily? Initially, it started as a voluntary thing, but then now it has become more and more compliance. From a company law perspective, also companies have to meet certain requirements. Let's see how this concept of corporate social responsibility developed in India. Earlier phase, right, up to 1915, it was a philanthropic exercise. Philanthropic exercise means where individual used to contribute for the society. Whenever individual feels that he wants to contribute to the society, he used to contribute voluntarily, completely, as at individual capacity. And this is shifted to a trusteeship where different individuals come together and form a trust and do a social services. Many temples or education institution even nowadays follow the trusteeship route. And during 1960 to 1980, we saw a lot of public sector enterprises are getting setting up in India. And during and those periods, the aim of public sector company is to distribute distribution of wealth. They started taking care of the societies around their companies. And but after 1980s, as a part of sustainable business plans and UN push on the sustainability and other factors, this has become like a part of business strategy now. The business strategy will be incomplete if there is no clause on corporate social responsibility. That's why corporate social responsibility is not only a voluntary requirement, it is a compliance requirement also. Let's see what exactly Companies Act says in terms of corporate social responsibility. Companies Act has defined corporate social responsibility as any contribution for the society, but following tasks or following activities will not be part of corporate social responsibility. If any activity is done as part of a normal course of the business, if I am running an education institution under a company section 8, and if I'm providing education, then it is not a CSR, right? So whatever I'm doing the business as a normal course of business, if I'm delivering it, then it is not a CSR. And all CSR activities must be taken care in India. Any activity undertaken by the company outside India is not CSR. Rural development of Indian village is CSR. Providing computers to rural schools in India is CSR. But outside India, it is not. Okay. But there is a one exception to this rule, which will clearly says that if any sports person sent to outside India, say for example, company A is sponsoring Mr. Jed for Olympics, and they send Mr. Jed to US for training or China for training. So those can be called as CSR. Okay. Any activity done outside India is not a CSR activity, but sports persons training outside India is CSR. Any contributions made to political party? So we have many political parties in India, BJP, Congress, during election time and others. So all corporates will fund these political parties through electoral bonds, right? This one is not a CSR. It is their general contributions, but it is nothing to do with CSR. And any benefits given to employee as part of a wages act, as per the salaries and wages act of India, if any contributions or any benefits given to employee, then that is not a CSR. And activities done as a sponsorship or marketing initiatives. Okay, say for example, spending on promotion of a sports is CSR? Yes or no? Promotion of sports. Yes. Spending amount on promotion of a sports is CSR. But if you are a title sponsor of IPL, sorry, title sponsor of IPL, is it a CSR exercise? Think guys. Title sponsor of IPL because they are promoting cricket here, right? That is also a sport. So they're promoting sports here. So is it IPR? Sorry, is it a CSR title sponsor for IPL? So we know Tata IPL now. Earlier it used to be Vivo IPL, correct? So is it CSR exercise? No. Any initiatives taken as part of a sponsorship or a marketing initiatives. So this is purely a marketing and branding exercise. That's why this will not be considered as CSR. Activities done to fulfill any other statutory obligation. Other than CSR obligation, if company is fulfilling some other statutory requirements, then that is also not a CSR. Apart from this, if any rural development or contribution to schools, education, sports, all those things will be considered as CSR. Let's see what is company law is saying with respect to CSR. Company law says every company with a net worth of 500 crores, if a company's net worth is 500 crores, if a turnover is 1000 crores, or or net profit is more than 5 crores. In this scenario, they shall constitute CSR committee. So most important, every company with a net worth of 500 crores or a turnover of 1000 crores or net profit of 5 crores must constitute CSR committee. Okay, in this committee should consist of three members, three directors, and out of that, one should be independent director. I hope you guys know who is executive director and who is independent director. Okay, one person should be independent director and two can be from internal director. One director out of three, one director should be independent director. This is about constitution of CSR committee. The second part of Companies Act says how much company has to spend on CSR. So CSR has become now mandatory. It is not just a voluntary contribution. Companies have to spend amount on CSR as a mandatory. How much they have to spend? They have to spend 2% of average profit of last 3 years. Okay. If my profit is 5 crores, 7 crores, and 11 crores in last 3 years, 11 plus 7, 22 plus 27 divided by 3. Almost it is what? 3 nines are 27. Okay. Yeah. So company has to spend 2% of 9 crore on a CSR. Clear? 2 points in companies, 3 points, which is one is what exactly the CSR is and who is eligible, like who comes under which kind of companies comes under CSR net and how much they have to contribute. I hope you guys are clear with Companies Act provision related to CSR. Let's move on. What are the benefits of CSR? Just I read out these benefits. I hope this point does not require any uh, big explanation here. Better brand recognition, as there will be a spending the goodwill in the society. Brand will be well respected by people. It saves the operational cost because it motivates employees to work hard. Easier access to capital when brand is built. Definitely, companies will get a lot of capital. Better financial performance as highly motivated and talent employees are part of the pool and they continue with the company because of company's brand recognition and growth. So the company's financial performance also increase and this will bring in positive business reputation and it increases sales by customers' loyalty because customer also prefer to work with the companies which have a proper positive brand reputation and recognition in the society. So when company does CSR, its brand image will increase. The customer will remain loyal to that particular product. Moving on. What are the factors which are influencing CSR? Why CSR is gaining more popularity? Earlier, it was just voluntary. From voluntary to it has moved into compliance now. It is a must to do activity. Why this is gaining a more popularity? This is gaining popularity because of globalization. As many companies are moving from one country to other country and establishing their businesses, it is necessary for them to contribute the development of that local area. Otherwise, companies from US, they come to India and then they do business, take money back, right? They don't spend here for the local development. To to make sure that all the companies spend something for the local development. So that's why CSR is gaining popularity. And then around this, on a topic of CSR, government is making a policy. As we saw right now, Companies Act has introduced a clause for CSR, and they have given when to constitute a CSR committee and when to how much they have to spend on CSR. So government policies are coming up. So that's why CSR is more important, or it is necessary that companies should focus on CSR. Policies of intergovernmental bodies. What is intergovernmental bodies? Any United Nations bodies which mm, which is a link between all the all the governments of other countries. So UN is pushing for sustainability, and as part of sustainability initiative, CSR is one of the important aspect for it. So that's why CSR is gaining more importance nowadays. Similarly, advance in technologies, a lot of technological changes are happening, and that should reach to all the rural part of the countries, and every poor also should get benefited from the technological advancement. So to make sure that it reaches to everyone, it is necessary of companies to spend on CSR. Interest of consumer and investor. Not only companies now or a law and other thing, even people are interested that how ethical the company is, how morally strong company is. All these non-financial parameters are also becoming important from an investor perspective because these kind of non-financial parameters help companies to grow s- long term with a sustainable model. Okay, so that's why people, investors and consumers also looking for well managed company, and that's why companies started doing CSR exercise. And we have seen a lot of breaches of corporate ethics in the modern world, be it Enron or it is a Satyam scam in India, etc. So to avoid, to come out of that bad name of the corporate culture, CSR is one of the critical tool for them. And focus on environment care. Okay, so importance of environment, we have been seeing that ESG reporting, right? ESG reporting, uh, environment, social, and governance. So all these things are gaining more and more popularity. So as part of that, CSR is another important strategy for that. Reduces risk of disruption. What does it mean? One second. Reduces risk of disruption. So any business, there will be in any business there will be a lot of impact or a lot of people are interested in it. See, for example, one is from a business side, shareholders are there, employees are there, management will be there, and your suppliers, customers, all these people are fine. Okay, there is a commercial interest and they run the business. But on the other side, there are many people who are uh, like environmentalists. They are nowhere related to your business, but they are worried about harm caused by your business into an environment. There are social groups, social welfare groups of a local community. There are public leaders. Okay, there are many other public who are interested and who try to create some disruption in a company's operation, taking the reasons of public welfare or taking the reasons of environmental issue or a local needs, etc. So once the company gets into a CSR mode, automatically these people's hesitation or other things will be stopped. So in that way, it reduces the risk of disruption. And then the executive mindset is also keep changing nowadays. So the executives or a senior management is also more focused towards CSR activities. So these all are the factors which are influencing for the growth of CSR in India. Okay, last point with respect to a CSR is what is the role of directors in CSR? The first and important thing, disclose the composition of CSR committee. As per company's law, every company with certain limits, three members committee should be formed. So that detail should be disclosed in the report. Not only that, once the committee submits the report, it should be approved by board. Then disclose this CSR policy in the company's website. So once the policy is approved, once the committee is formed and policy is approved, it should be displayed on the company's website. Also, it should be disclosed as part of their statutory reports. Then it is not only important that making a policy, right? Other next step is implementing the policy. So board of directors must ensure that the policy is being implemented in a company. Here, most importantly, as I told earlier, as per company's law, 2% of the company's average profit for last 3 financial years should be spent on CSR. Minimum this much should be spent. More over and above is fine. So board of directors must take necessary steps to spend at least 2% of the average profit for last 3 financial years should be planned. And they should ensure that this most of this spend will go in the local areas. I've been saying that CSR is more about uplifting local areas where company operates. If company is operating in near uh, Bangalore, it should take care of surrounding areas. If company is operating in Hyderabad or any remote village in Andhra, so it should take care of upliftment of that local area. So it is a duty or it is a role of a director to ensure that the spending is in local area. If directors are not able to comply with the Companies Act policies and other guidelines, then they should specify what exactly the reasons for that and what is the reasons for this failure to the Companies Act, to the SEBI and Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Okay, last topic is today's discussion is corporate governance. What is corporate governance? Corporate governance is the application of best management practices. Then we have to compliance with the law. How we are going to comply with the law? It is with a true letter and spirit. True letter and spirit. What exactly law is expecting? Okay. See, there is a lot of interpretations we can make with a law, but We should not make a bad interpretation of that. We have to go with the true spirit of the law and adhere to the ethical standards. Ethical standards. Okay. For the effect, why we have to do all these things? Best management practices, compliance with the law, and ethical standards for a effective management and distribution of wealth, and also to discharge of social responsibility for sustainable development of all stakeholders. Okay, so corporate governance is all about the application of best management practices, compliance with the law, and then ethical practices for the benefit of creation of wealth for all the stakeholders, and again through sustainable development. I've been telling that what is sustainable development means there is a growth of a company considering every stakeholders. See, company can grow by some way like pushing every employee to work for hard 24 hours a day. First year, first month they can make a profit with that role. But later it is very difficult to maintain that. Otherwise, so if it is is it sustainable, this model, making employee to work 24 bar 7? No. So that's a sustainable model is make employees to work for 8 hours, allows proper leaves for employees. The same way to make business to run for a longer period and with some growth, there should be certain activities which companies have to do. What are those? They have to take care of employees, employee families, society, and then local community, etc. So this is a sustainable model, and also they have to take care of environment, they have to take care of compliance matter, everything. So then only companies can run for a longer period. That is a sustainable development. So for the sustainable development and for the distribution of wealth, companies have to follow best management practices, compliance practices, and ethical practices. This is called as corporate governance. So good corporate governance promotes investor confidence. Why people are aware, people are interested with companies like Infosys, which is one of the best corporate governance company in India, which is known as corporate governance company. So because it practices the best management practices, and it is always comply with company laws and other compliance factors, and then follow ethical practices. What are the objectives of corporate governance? Board must take independent decisions. Okay, board should not be influenced by others. Board should be independent. Board should take independent decisions. If a board is capable of taking independent decision, then it is called as a better corporate governance company. Otherwise, if always owner is influencing or our employees are influencing or any third parties are influencing, then it is not a best governed corporate governance company. And board should consist of some independent directors also. Definitely, as per company law, also there should be some non-executive and independent directors. Always, if a board consists of all executive directors, then there is a possibility of misuse of power. So that's why board also should comprise of non-executive and independent directors in it. And if the other feature or the other objectives of corporate governance is to adopt transparent procedures and practices. Okay, and uh, board also will try to set up effective machinery to serve the concerns of stakeholders. So every corporate governance helps to resolve all stakeholders' concerns with a proper management from a board side. And board will monitor the functioning of the management team. So otherwise, if it is not a corp, there is no proper corporate governance, board will come and sit and they take sitting fees and they exit. But because of a good corporate governance, board also will take a review mechanism in their things, and they will also see how management team is functioning, what is the expectation, what is delivered, etc. So it is one of the important objectives of corporate governance. Board remains effective control of the affairs of the company. So when they monitor it, they also control it. So corporate governance will, the basic objective of corporate governance is to provide independency to the board of directors by composing executive directors along with non-executive and independent directors, and pushing it for transparent procedures and practices in the company, and address all the concerns of the stakeholders, and also it monitors and controls the company affairs and management team actions. Last point here, what is role of company secretary in corporate governance? See, corporate governance is all about complying with the legal requirements of a country, following some sustainable practices and best management practices, providing independence to a board of directors. Right? So it is an interdisciplinary approach. It is not that, okay, you read only company law and then you can be an effective corporate governance person. No, it is not only that, it is very, very comprehensive, and a lot of other departments, functions should be bring together for effective execution of corporate governance requirement. Okay, so in this kind of scenarios, company secretaries will provide a lot of guidance, impetus, and directions for achieving world-class corporate governance. Who can guide the entire board of directors and senior management on corporate governance? That is company secretary. Why? Company secretaries are the primary source of advice. They are the primary source of advice because they are well versed with the legal concepts which are required to run the company. So that's why they are the primary source of advice to all the stakeholders here, board of directors or a management or shareholders, etc. So they are the advisors. So that's why let's see what are the roles of company secretary here for a proper development of corporate governance. Company secretary is a vital link between company and its board of directors, shareholders, and other stakeholders. So, company secretary is a media through which whatever board of directors are taking a decision or a management is taking a decision, that will be communicated to other stakeholders, right? So, he is a link between board of directors, shareholders, and all other stakeholders, and also government authorities or statutory authorities. Second role of a company secretary here is providing guidance to the board of directors, provide board of directors with a guidance to its duties, responsibilities, power, and other various laws, rules, and regulations. So they play the advisory role to the board in terms of providing all the required laws to be met, rules and regulations to be met by the board, and also what are the duties and responsibilities and powers of the board. All those related advices will be given by board, given by company secretary to the board. Company secretary acts as a compliance officer, not only as advisor there, he is a safeguard guardian of compliances in a company. So he is a compliance officer. Yes, he is well versed with all the legal requirements to run the business. So he is going to act as a compliance officer for the company. And then he is a one of the important member of a company's management team. He is a key management personnel, and then so that's why he always contribute in all other decisions of the company. Clear, guys? What are the role of company secretary? company secretary is a key person with respect to a corporate governance because he is the one who knows the law which are required to run the business as per as per the country's Companies Act and other acts of the country. So that's why company secretary plays very vital role in terms of implementing effective corporate governance system in any company. That's it, guys. So with this, I covered entire first chapter totally in 4 videos. I request you to go through all the 4 videos along with your ICSI study material. Enjoy your studies, and I request you to please subscribe my channel and also share with your friends. Thank you. Thank you so much.